I love guns. Wait, what?
That is a great way to start.
I love guns. Demonetized.
That is a great way to start this episode of the Romper Crew. I love guns.
I wasn't even thinking what I said.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 4, I think, of the Romper Crew. I'm gonna forget these numbers at some point.
Sure.
Wahoo!
Escape. Psychonauts.
Psychonauts, and then now with
And then-
Door to
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's Spar 4. So,
I still hate myself for screwing up the pronunciation at the end of the last video. I'm sorry, okay?
welcome everyone
And welcome to the demonetized, stream to video.
Yeah, more or less. And this is Klonoa, also known as Klonoa, because he doesn't use the N in game. Also known as Klonoa, also known as, I don't think anybody's ever gonna know the proper pronunciation, but we're gonna go with Klonoa.
I think that's the generally accepted pronunciation.
Makes the most sense.
And for quick clarity, all of us are playing this because a couple of us didn't 100% the game.
I mean, you don't
I
have to if you don't
understand it
want
a lot.
to. So yeah, welcome to this episode. It's me, your host, yogamoanyo. Don't go to my Twitter. Just
Please go to his Twitter. It is a work of art.
You can find me over there. Introduce
Just don't
yourself. I
step
don't want
on
to
the
talk
link.
anymore.
Hand down.
I didn't play this game. I don't know what you're all talking about.
Hello, I'm EmeraldMasterPixed, and just, here's a wise piece of advice. Never step on Legos.
Ow!
Okay, and Mayo.
Hey, buddy, I'm Mayonnaise Doctor. I still love that drawing. I keep thinking I'm gonna redraw it, but every time I look at the original, I'm like, how am I gonna top this?
How do you top perfection? That's what I say about my original Sonic art.
Like, I don't think I can.
Except I love drawing Sonic. And together we are the Romper Crew. Yahoo! Wahoo! Sorry, he did the wahoo.
That's fine. It's fun. I get it.
So, yeah, and we're talking about Klonoa, Klonoa.
Klonoa sounds like I'm
The
trying
door to
slowly
the
say
Phantom
Klonoa.
Hourglass is what it's called.
Please don't call it that. I'm actually gonna get the games confused. They're nothing alike.
It's the door to wahoo! It's the
Phantomile.
door. I'm gonna say Phantomile. Is that weird? Is it Phantomile? Phantomile?
It's Phantomile.
Phantomile. Okay, Phantomile.
Like, after my screwing it up,
No one's a grammar
the
Nazi,
Psychonauts,
just
I don't really
cool.
have the right to complain about it too much. But,
And this is my save where I don't have it 100%ed on the one that I
I don't
finished.
get 69. There's 72 total.
Yeah, so I played this game twice. In the first time I played it, I got 100%, but that was no memory card. And then this one I had the memory card in because I still was under the pretense of what's it called of the whole Crash Bash thing. So
Oh, God.
Yeah, but then we found out Crash Bash was ruined anyway, so who cares?
What are you using save states for it?
no, I just went through it in one sitting.
Oh, God.
I mean, it's
about
not
like-
that bad.
yeah,
That's I did that on the Wii version.
So yeah. So we're talking about Klonoa, Door the Phantom Mile. I almost said Phantomile. Sorry, I'm trying to stay in sync with you guys. And
Well, no,
this is
it's
probably
grammar
what I
Nazi.
anticipate to be our shortest Romper Crew video for a while, because this game is particularly short, meaning there's going to be much less to talk about.
Basically,
It's,
doesn't help that
it's a
2D
2.5D platformer. What would you really expect?
Yep.
Unless it was 10 hours in length, which...
game. It happens.
Yeah, that happens. It's not common, but it happens.
But
So,
I mean, who would complain?
So let's talk about the first thing that we usually talk about. And I'm very interested, but also I feel like we're all going to have the exact same response to this
Literally none of us have played
question.
it before, so...
So our
So
history with
respect for
Klonoa.
fun.
Let's start with me this time, because I don't think we usually start with me. I heard about this game, for the first time, a few years ago, and that was it. I heard it was good, and I never did anything about it. I wanted to play it at some point, but I never found a time to play it, and I never really cared enough, I suppose, so I never really played it. but I wanted to in the back of my head, and then obviously Mayo over here reinvigorated my interest by making it one of the games to play. So that's really my history with it. What's your history with it, if any, Em?
Almost the same damn thing.
I mean, I'm literally expecting this to be all of ours.
I heard about it in a YouTube video. I did hear about it just barely prior. Then, whenever Mayo suggested it, I played it, and
Clearly,
I'm not disappointed.
And what about you, Mr. Mayo, then?
Literally the exact same story as M here. I think I'm a little more involved than you two, though, because I actually did watch an entire review series this series, and it looked really good, and I absolutely intended on playing the games at one point. Romper Crew showed up, and was like, you know what, this is a perfect excuse. So I just threw it out there.
You have to admit, the Romper Crew is an amazing idea simply on the pretense it's going to get us to play some games that we might have not wanted, like had an opportunity to play at some point.
It's weird, because I know Haydocs actually kind of maybe commentated on this, and the game, and I'm willing to believe this, possibly died due to obscurity.
Yeah, I'm willing to say that.
Probably.
And then you find out there's a sequel, so...
Oh yeah, there's a ton of sequels, actually.
Okay, there's only 2, I think, right?
Side sequels.
So, yeah, I'm not surprised that we all have, like, literally the same history. I was thinking about this when I was, like a week ago. I was like, when we talk about this, we are all gonna say it's like the same thing, I feel like.
Yeah, like, we all had slight variations to it.
Yeah. But, like, I knew it wasn't gonna be substantial. I knew it was gonna be roughly all, like, the same stuff. Not remotely surprised. So now let's move on to the presentation as a whole and all that sort of stuff. And let's start off with, might as well, because I feel like this is gonna change every episode rather, but let's start with the graphics, because this game's kind of got...
Start me off with the hard one already. So, by the way, everyone, I think I mentioned this already, but I played the Wii version too, so I basically have to review this game twice.
Yeah, so, okay, so we're gonna be talking about the PS1 version though, but like in terms of everything outside of the Wii version, there's gonna be a section at the way end though where we do talk about let him talk about the Wii version, because he played that version. Because, yes,
you both apparently looked it up, at least.
Yeah,
we both had something to say on the voice acting, at the very least.
Yeah.
Which would have been fine if it was done better. A lot better.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about that.
If you want to be educated on it, it's terrible.
That's gonna be at the way end, just so everyone knows, us talking about the Wii version. That's, like, literally slated for the end. So, let's all talk about the graphics, though. I have to admit, for a PS1 game, even though it's a 2.5D platformer, so it's not like it's really pushing the PS1 to its limits or anything, I think this is, like, a really impressive-looking game.
These are some of the best PS1 graphics I've seen.
That's what I was thinking. Like, there is a lot of smoothness to... Like, I know this is being emulated, so a bit of it is a little better. But I've seen some original gameplay footage, because I wanted to see...
Yeah, and this still looks really good.
Yeah, like, I wanted to see if it looked as similar as it does to an a smoothed-out emulated version.
But most of the sequels are like that too, where they look really good for the hardware they're on.
That's really awesome. I think
especially impressive for Limita's Veil, because that was a launch title.
Let's also acknowledge the fact that the literal video cutscenes are pretty damn good for what they are.
FMV?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, probably some of the best and least scary FMVs for this era, which is saying a lot. Trust me.
The best part about it is it's not even remotely terrifying.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's not. Outside of a few things.
That's why I say that.
outside of a select few things.
Yeah, I'll just save it as saying I'm glad I didn't play this as a kid.
I am too, which is really weird. In retrospect.
I'm gonna spoil everyone. This at least on my end, this is gonna be overwhelmingly positive. But yeah, I'm still really glad I didn't play this as a kid.
I like food. But yeah, no, I do really think that this is one of the best looking, like, PS1 games, period. I think a lot of it has to do with because there isn't a lot of, like, background work and all this sort of stuff they really had to put in, but they just kind of went the extra mile and did it, I feel like.
You have to give them credit. You just have to.
Yeah, and I think it's really good. The only thing it's maybe a little bit iffy, and even then, this is more of like a nitpick than an actual like full-blown complaint, is the whole like 2D models in the 3D environments is a little weird, but I feel like, honestly, I feel like the game would probably look a little worse if it was in 3D at the same time, like the models and stuff like that. And I guess in turn, the animations on the 2D models, I wish they were running in perfect frame, like in the perfect frame rate as the game itself.
Doom does as an example, where it actually changes based on perspective angle.
Yeah, my controller just like slightly disconnected for a second, so I kept running. But if anything, honestly, that's just like a little nitpick on my end of the thing. I wouldn't really say it's like inherently a bad thing. It's just like if there was anything that I would want changed, it would be that, I suppose.
It's just a little off-putting.
Yeah,
it makes it look like a Saturn game, which I'm totally fine with. I like a lot of Saturn games.
Yeah, now that you say it, this does look like a Saturn game.
A very impressive Saturn game.
The Saturn did compete with the PS1, didn't it?
I also do love the little storybook thing that it does have every stage. I do like that little touch. That is a part of the graphics, I would say, and it's nice.
Yeah, presentation at least.
Don't you get some Yoshi's Island vibes from that?
Yes, I did. This game, I feel like, has a lot of different, like, little inspirations and stuff.
And almost all of them are Nintendo, which is hilarious because PlayStation game, but...
Direct competitors.
Namco! Namco made this!
Yep. Before they were Namco
I
Bandai.
understand Namco had a bit of a farce with Nintendo at one point.
So I guess that's overall for the graphics. I think we're all in like agreement that this is like a really impressive looking game for the time, in our opinions. Probably one of the better looking PS1 games.
The still kind of stands out a bit, but save that for then.
Even the rendered models, even though if they're images, let's just be honest, they're impressive for what they are. But I mean, you did say. I can't imagine the render times for them. It had to be painful.
Could have been. I don't know this game's specific mumbo jumbo.
I'm just say for all of them, like I'm pretty sure Hupo probably didn't take that long, for instance, because that's literally just a circle. But
2.5D.
Alrighty
once in a while.
Yeah, they have to show off that they can go 3D sometimes.
Yeah, sure. But not all the time. To show it off, man. I just mentioned this too. The fact that whenever you turn around and try doing your flight animation, it looks absolutely horrifying. Like he's dying in pain.
Holy. I've never seen that before.
I'm sorry, repeat what you say, because I didn't catch it.
He looks like he's angry as shit when he's flying and looking at the camera. Wow.
But that's not in the Wii version at all. That is just PS1.
Well, no, it looks like he constipated.
I love it.
It's terrifying.
You have to see it now.
I feel like
no, I can't.
I feel like I'm gonna be mauled by a constipated cat.
So let's talk about the next part, which is sound and music. This soundtrack is a banger. Full stop.
There's some songs I like this game for the right reasons, and there's some I definitely like for the wrong reasons. Joker. I'll get to that when I get there.
I'm sorry, did I just hear what I thought I heard?
No.
Oh boy.
You didn't.
Oh no. Oh, Dios mío.
Oh, Vilos Milos. You set me up for it, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I do think the soundtrack, though, is really good, and I do think the overall sounds are good for what they are. This is the right way. What am I doing? But overall, yeah, I think it... The soundtrack, I think, is kind of an underrated gem as with the game itself for the most part. I do think it's got like some really nice tracks in it. Like there's a boss theme. Jeez, what boss theme is it? I think it's like the third boss has one of my like favorite songs in the entire game. I might be able to get there by the end of this part. It depends on how long, or this video rather. It depends on how long. I'm so used to saying part.
I do like how the personality put into the enemies, even if they're just, you know, as simple as could be. I love the personality they give them. I mean, to deter a little bit from the soundtrack, but yeah, the soundtrack is clearly vivid.
It's very nice. It's got a lot of things going on for it. It's not just like strictly like electronic or strictly this or strictly that. You know, it's got a lot of things going on.
Whip out the dubstep.
Please.
I can't imagine dubstep in the 90s. I really can't.
I can't imagine dubstep in a vast majority of games.
And yet, before and after the sequel has one track that is actually great to listen to. It's not complete garbage.
It's not dubstep though.
Don't ruin my illusion.
Why did I do that? I am like going back and forth for no reasons in this level. I don't think there's any tracks I can think of, maybe outside of like 2 that I don't like or didn't care for or whatever.
There's a few I don't care much for. Like, you know me with atmospheric tracks, I just don't care most of the time. But
really,
most of this game is atmospheric in terms of soundtrack, so
yeah, because there's a few I liked, but most of it just whatever.
Because I'm the kind of person that loves to listen to music and ambience at the same time. I mean, in some cases. But I mean, that's just me. I mean, atmospheric tracks are great, too.
I love atmospheric tracks. I like all types of music, to be fair, too, though, so...
correction, yes, atmospheric tracks are great because they can establish a mood very, very well.
Well, it is the intention. They are called atmospheric.
Oh, yeah, and that's the exact reason I don't like them.
They create tension when tension is needed.
Exactly.
Basically, if it can't be listened to out of context, I don't like it.
Oh, no. Okay.
I can listen to a lot of atmospheric stuff out of context. Which is, I think, this is a good thing overall.
Which probably is why I am addicted to Super Mario 3D World's soundtrack.
What do you guys think, even though I feel like this is definitely a minor thing as opposed to everything else, what do you guys think about like the sound effects and all that sort of stuff too? Because we are talking about like music and sound. I think they all do their job well, and I don't think any of them sound like overly bit crushed or anything's really bad.
Compressed?
Yeah, I think the voices are cute, all the voices and stuff. I mean, speaking of graphics laid on this game is fucking cute and adorable.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, get some really good
we were talking
Kirby
about
vibes.
Yeah, like we were talking about Yoshi's Island a minute ago, but this game screams Kirby.
Yeah, seriously, this is literally like a Kirby game!
Why is this Waddle Dee also a Pikachu?
Hello guys, welcome to Fear Incarnate, Gaudius.
Basically, I mean, you're not wrong.
He scares me.
I was reading that as Gradius at first.
So did I, but I was like, nah, different. It's a different game. And I'm pretty sure it's Gaudius.
I mentioned it before, but I mentioned it too. The secondary antagonist's name is a mistranslation. It's Joker. The Wii version fixes it.
I kind of like the name Joka. I like the name Joka because...
Okay, I'm getting that. I get what you're saying. Sorry to interrupt. I get what you're saying now about the raw Japanese translations.
Yeah, I do like the name...
Because they don't pronounce their R's the same we do.
I prefer the name Joka. They don't have R in their dictionary.
There's a few other characters that they had they weird as well. Like, they called her the character from World 3 Granny instead of Chiefess. I don't really understand that one.
Yeah, that one is weird. I'll accept... Goodbye. I'll accept that one.
But it makes it seem like she's related to the grandpa character in some way, which she's not.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I do like Joka as opposed to Joker, though. That could just be a me thing.
That might be more personalized, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I can understand liking either. Granny, I have no clue.
I have to admit, too, Joka sounds like a fucking demon when you inevitably fight him, and it's terrifying. Gaudius's voice is also the definition of terrifying. And I can't get this out of my head, but Hupo sounds like fucking Togepi from Pokemon.
Oh my god. Why? Why did you say that?
It's a Pokemon from in the anime. I can't unhear Togepi. He sounds like Togepi, doesn't he?
I think I just Togepi'd my pants.
You might want to go to the doctor for that.
I'm joking. Jeez, calm down, clam down. I can't. Not after hearing that. You have destroyed the illusion.
It's Togepi! Why even call him Hupo when he's Togepi? Come on. So...
Oh, I get it. Okay.
So overall, are we in agreement that this is a great sounding game for the most part? It's overall pretty good. I think Mayo's the only one who's different, but that's just because of his musical tastes for games and stuff
yeah,
like
and
that.
There's also some I'll get that in a minute. But, or maybe not a minute. I'll get to it at some point in this video.
And then we can talk now. I guess we can move on to, so this is going to be pretty short and simple, I think. Story and characters. Story is really simple. It's kind of what to be expected. You know, you're a cat with wing ears.
That's debatable. That's confusing.
With a Pac-Man hat and a giant belt as a necklace, except it's like really big.
Leash.
That is in an alternate world to save this world from it going into an everlasting nightmare by saving a diva from the Moon Princess by a nightmare named Gaudius that wants to destroy the entire world and himself because nobody will accept the fact that nightmares can exist.
Holy shit, Pixar, I didn't expect you to be here.
Oh please, Pixar wishes there to be this dark.
Yeah, the story is, wow, surprisingly dark.
Yeah, the story is...
You didn't mention the worst of it.
The story is literally, not only that, this is a cute game, not only that, not only is the story about how the guy wants, the main villain wants to destroy the entire world, including himself, and kill everyone off by putting everyone in a, like, endless nightmare, more or less. He kills Grandpa over here. Well, his minion Joka does, but he kills him. Literally ends his life.
Yeah, like, there's no room for debate over it.
Yeah, that came out of left field for me. I'm gonna be completely honest. When this guy dies,
I had a lot of the plot of this game spoiled, unfortunately, including a lot of the ending bits.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of things like there's like surprisingly like dark elements given what's happening. There's like brainwashing, mind control stuff. There's people obviously are being imprisoned. I know that it's in a cutesy way, but they're still being imprisoned. And then there's you know, the whole fact that the main villain was locked away forever because nobody wanted there to be nightmares, and he's basically evil personified.
That is actually very dark.
Yeah, and he wants to kill the world, and he doesn't care if he himself dies as long as everybody else gets to suffer and he doesn't care about dying because nobody cares about him as is. So
that sounds eerily similar to the other game.
That is a lot darker than I expected.
Until he said it like that, but wow.
It's
the point basically.
The sequel I'm assuming you're talking about? Oh shit. I shouldn't say shit, this is a kid's game.
To it. I can't imagine how dark that gets. Oh boy.
Yeah, this is a surprising, like, honestly it's a cute game with dark undertones that are still kind of you kind of have to really think
would you even call them undertones?
Some of them are undertones, some of them are not. Some of them you have to, like, kind of think a little bit more about to be like, okay, yeah, this is way darker than I'm giving it credit for. Like, for example, the whole, like, nobody cares about him. He mentions it, but it's so brief that it's like a blink and you miss it sort of situation almost, but it's kind of undertone-y. But it's a surprisingly dark game. And, you know, it's a story and it's simple. I kind of wish, and maybe this is me, this is kind of a little bit of an issue I have. I don't have an issue with the story itself. There's actually a few things, actually I take it back, there's a few issues I have. First of all, I'm not a fan of Hugh Pow being a Moonchild guy, but that's just because he goes from being this cute little ball to this ugly abomination, in my opinion.
Yeah, but fair enough. I'm not gonna argue that.
Not to be mean, and I mean this, he looks like he was ripped straight from a bootleg toy set.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm not joking.
Like, he really, like, I thought he looked adorable as a ball, and then once he turns into a not ball anymore, it kind of put me out of it, because I was like, oh, come on, he was, like, adorable, and now he looks like this ugly, weird baby thing. And it kind of... Yeah, and it kind of made me feel a little meh. Like, I was like, this is not something I enjoy. That's one of my minor complaints. Also, and this is probably mostly a me thing, and I don't fault anyone for, you know, making, you know, thinking this is way too much of a nitpick. I think some of the cutscenes maybe go on a little too long for how simple and of a game, for the most part, this is. Just a little.
That seems more nitpicky to me.
Yeah.
That sounds like a nitpick.
It's not even one I necessarily agree with. I think it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's still short and stuff like that, but sometimes I think I was more invested in just wanting to play, so yeah, it was probably more of a nitpick than me wanting to, like, sit.
Let's start by skip the cutscene. That's all you really care about.
Well, yeah, I could, but I wanted to get the story and, like, you know, listen to what's going on and stuff.
Then you shouldn't be complaining about it.
But I guess I wasn't, like... It's a nitpick, okay. Whatever. And then in terms of, like, talking about characters and stuff, I think this game has a lot of fun and cool characters, but most of the characters to me are also equally really forgettable, because they're kind of like, they're there and then they're not. Like, you meet a few people that appear in the final boss that you had a grand total of talking to for, like, one sentence.
2 minutes.
Like the guy at the beginning of the game. I don't even remember his name. The guy you meet for 1 second that wants to see the diva.
Baloo. It's his tower at the end.
Yeah, Baloo. He literally appears at the end, despite the fact that you have, like, one little cutscene with him and no other ones, and it's kind of just like, okay.
In the game too.
Yeah.
Jumping back to the soundtrack, just real quick, I did not realize outright, or I didn't remember how terrifying 5-2's Nightmare take is. It actually is.
Is that the lights on, lights off level? That's what I call it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, level is
I completely forgot that it's actually a bit on the creepy side.
Gaudius's boss theme is also a little uncomfortable to listen to. Which is fitting, given the character. Guy is fucking nightmare fuel, convince me otherwise.
Let the Joker there do for personal reasons.
He scares me. He makes me, like, physically uncomfortable. Not even mentally, it's just physically. But yeah, I mean, outside of, like, Joka, Klonoa, Hupao, Gaudius, and that's really it, actually, in terms of characters that I can just, like, completely remember offhand. A lot of them are just forgettable, but that's not really a case of...
Like, they don't show up for a scene.
Yeah, they
scenes are like a minute tops.
Yeah, they show up for, like, one scene that makes me forget about them, for one. And for two, the game is just kind of short as a whole, that a lot of things can kind of come by as a blur. For me, at least. So it's not, like, inherently, like, a totally bad thing. I wouldn't say the characters are, like, bad or anything. It's just, I find them forgettable because they go by so fast, minus, you know, barring a very select few characters. Like, I don't remember their names, again, I'm just bad with names. But the fish, I remember the fishes more than I do, like, any other character in this game that isn't...
You see Pamela and Carl a lot.
Yeah. So, it's...
think of a name for some reason.
So, yeah, it's definitely just an issue with, I think, the game being short more than anything, because I don't think any of the characters are bad. Again, so... and of course I remember Grandpa, because he just fucking dies. But...
Which, whenever you brought that up, I literally just passed that bit.
Now let's move on to, I guess, gameplay and controls. So the controls are very important in a game like this, as it is a 2.5D platformer. I think the controls are really good, except for two things. And you guys might be able to guess what these two things are. Maybe at least one thing.
Sliding down waterfalls?
No. My issue with the controls is... I don't know how this works, but when you're running, and sometimes when you land and you walk just a little bit, you will slide a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
It's not that big of an issue early on, but later on there's some tighter platforming sections, and it can really just make you fall off the edge consistently because you just keep sliding, and it's it feels a little bit uncontrollable to me, and I don't know how to, like, properly not slide and how to properly slide or whatever, so I'm just like, that was a huge issue for me in some of the later levels, because you know how they have those really small platforms, and I think, like, literally, like, 6'2" or whatever. That was an issue to me, personally.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I've never had this issue.
Yeah, it's literally in the game, Mayo. I know exactly what he's talking about. How it's done is you have to walk for at least maybe a second or so. Whenever you let go, you slide a bit.
Yeah, you do like a little slide. It's not like a big slide. It's not like you're sliding on ice.
It's like Klonoa's traction turns off for a second.
Yeah, and it's really weird.
I'm literally playing the game right now, and it's not happening. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're probably
if you tap, it's not an issue.
Yeah, like, okay, like, I'll show you on the stream, for example. See, like, it doesn't exist here, right? See how I'm just tapping and it's all good? Yeah. Now, if I run for a second... See how I just slid right there?
No, the frames aren't showing.
You have to run for, like a second-ish, and you kind of just slide. But it's not just for running, too. Like, if you hover and then, like... you're still holding left, sometimes you'll also slide, and it's really weird, and I don't know how to properly control it. And there's these little tiny platforms, like as big as this little, like, water vent, the cap to this water vent. There's, like, some platforms that are that big. And sometimes I'll end up sliding off because I can't control, what's it called?
Well, right.
Yeah. And it's just, that sucks. It's one of the
I'm trying to watch a gameplay to see what you're doing, but I swear I've never had this happen.
I'm literally just like running.
Maybe it's just a bit difficult to describe.
Maybe, but there definitely is a slide. It's 100% a fact, given a million bajillion, and it has screwed me over at the way. It was more of an issue at the way end of the game for me, though, than it was anywhere else, because that's where the platforming gets tighter, and that's where it was only really an issue for me. Other than that, the only...
You're literally on that level you're talking about right now. It does not screw me over once. It hasn't happened.
Well, it's because this level doesn't have any small platforms.
I'm on that level right now.
This level?
No, I mean 6-2, the one you were complaining about having the issue.
I was having the issue a lot. And
it hasn't happened once.
It was kind of...
I've already gotten past both the small platforms segment.
Well, then I'm just gonna say you're a lucker, because that shit was killing me over and over again at the way end of the game, and it was starting to frustrate. On both my playthroughs, mind you. It wasn't just a first time only thing. It was both the playthroughs I did. It was terrible. It's like that's easily the biggest complaint that I have. Other than that, I
can't even make it happen, and I'm actually actively trying now, and it's still not working.
It probably is. Just probably aren't really noticing it.
I mean, I'm used to physics like these, so...
It only... Well, I kind of am too, but the only issue I guess I had is that it was, like, in a select few sections,
It was just...
Like there was some really small platforming sections, and it was just like, I just died. Like, I couldn't do anything about it, sort of thing. Not die, but, what's it called? Well, yeah, I did die, because I would fall off the edge. Other than that, the only other issue I have is I think the little makeshift flutter jump is actually awful. I think that actually might be my biggest complaint. It feels... It's so slow, and there's again, in the later levels, there's like little platforms, kind of like these small ones right here, where you have to like jump up to, and sometimes the full jump doesn't fully make it because the platforms are moving. So sometimes I have to flutter jump to it, but sometimes I'll miss it, or other times I won't, and it's very, very weird, and it's very annoying, and I just never liked the little flutter jump like to begin with. I'll just say that full stop.
Never had that issue either. Don't know what to tell you.
That issue only happened in the one level. That one I will chalk up to one level, just because the platforms were moving and it was being like oddly specific. Other than that, it's just I just don't like the flutter jump as a whole. It feels really awkward to reposition myself and stuff like that. That's just how I feel about it. It just feels way too like it kind of feels like a pace breaker in a sense. Shoot, the slide almost just screwed me over. I don't know if you guys saw that one.
I mean, I know what you're talking about, so... The flutter jump, oddly enough, just doesn't even go to a little bit extra height, if you get what I'm saying.
No, it doesn't. It's supposed to, like, I think just keep you up, like, make sure you're at the same, what's it called?
It keeps you at the peak of your jump.
Yeah, it's supposed to, I think that's the intent, but... It's just, it feels really stiff and awkward for me to use, and I think that's, for me, that's an issue, personally. And I don't like it, personally. I don't know how you guys
You're mentioning all these complaints about the games, like, I've never had any of these issues. I don't know what to tell you. I guess your mileage may vary.
The slide thing definitely exists, like, I'm showing it right now. I'm moving for a second, then I'm just kind of sliding. At the way, and the slide is kind of long. You can stop yourself, but sometimes it doesn't activate, and sometimes it does. It's kind of, like, weird how it works.
Again, like, third playthrough, too. Like, I've played the game enough, you would think I would notice that...
Well, I don't know what to tell you then, man. M's seen it, so I'm not crazy. And it's definitely there. It's certainly there. Did I just go... but that's really it. And again, though I don't like them, on the bright side, these little issues and nuances that I had did barely like affect me. Like the slide, it only affected me in like one level. And as for the what's it called, the flutter jump, I just don't like it because it feels like shit. It just doesn't feel good. It does not feel fun to use to me. That's just a me issue. But other than that,
I could really have at the flutter is that maybe it's a little slow, but that's it.
Yeah, that's like my main issue. It feels really like awkwardly slow. Like it kind of ruins the like. I feel like if they were gonna use this sort of flutter jump thing, I'm just calling it the flutter jump because that's basically what it is. I feel like they should have went with the Yoshi's Island route in the sense where I feel like
Yoshi's Island is slow too.
You kind of keep your momentum more so in Yoshi's Island. This one, not really. Your momentum holds.
Here too, though. If that's all we're talking about.
It halts your momentum. You go slower. It's really, really slow. In Yoshi's Island, it's
you can do it forever.
Okay, I guess I don't know what you're talking about after
yeah,
all.
you can do it forever, and it keeps your momentum up. Like you can, it's slightly slower, but I feel like I have more control as a whole, if that makes sense.
No,
really?
You definitely have more control with Yoshi's Island.
Okay.
I've never played Yoshi's Island. Well, I played like a level and I hated it, so I quit. It's one of those games.
I'm surprised. You like this game, but not Yoshi's Island. That's kind of surprising, actually. That's really surprising. I take that back. These games are very similar.
Don't have to tell you. Preferences.
I guess so. Agree to disagree.
I mean, you've heard my opinions about some games, so...
Yeah. M thinks Mario sucks.
Nah.
I mean, I can actually understand that to some extent.
Oh, shit.
That's why he likes Super Mario Maker, because then he can make the good games. Oh!
Bitch, please. Have you not seen the hot garbage people make in Mario Maker?
It's mostly garbage.
At this point, yes. Oh, yes. It
got better over the last couple of years, but
and Necrio Maker too, which has a lot more, you know, fascinating shit. This wrong game.
If you want to talk about Mario Maker 2, you can choose it.
Anyway, back Klonoa.
Yeah, I'm just sitting and waiting.
Sorry.
What do you guys think about the controls as a whole? Though I know I've said my piece. What do you guys think? Do you guys have any issues, grievances?
I don't really feel like I can talk about the controls unless I bring up the Wii version, so I'm gonna hold my peace.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. What about you, Well, I mean, actually, not what about you, I should ask more of like, what do you think about the PS1 controls, Mayo? Do you have any issues, any nuances? Do you think they're perfect? Like,
they're basically perfect. I never had any of the issues you mentioned. Like, one of them I don't even know if it exists.
It does.
I don't see it.
You know, the nightmares
I've watched this stream
game,
for a few minutes too. It's like I didn't see it once.
It's weird. The nightmares in this game, whenever you reach far enough in the game, when things start to get serious. The marshmallows look like they're marshmallows. Oh god. The nightmares look kind of like marshmallow peeps floating around.
Love marshmallows.
That or crushed bubblegum wads.
Wads, Doom.
Wad, you know, as in a
First thing I
mess.
think of when I heard that word, but okay.
So I guess, what is your opinion on the controls then, Em, since Mayo said his piece on it? Any grievances, nuances? You think it's perfect?
I think for the game, they're flawless.
Damn, I guess I'm the only one who has some slight issues. Granted, they popped up in very small spots, but whatever. I think the game controls really well for the most part. I guess I have to preface this. I think it controls great. It's just there's these very specific spots at the way end where there are a few little things that bugs me.
At least it's not Echo the Dolphin, okay?
Speaking of dolphins,
It's not a dolphin, it's a fish.
basically a dolphin.
Look here, we don't talk about that animal. Not in my presence.
Wait, can we not talk about animals?
No, we can't talk about the T word.
Oh.
Oh, you're the emulator. Okay, got it.
What emulator? I don't know what you're talking about.
It would have been sometimes funny if you had the EPSX
I could
logo
hear
at the
that.
top.
I mean, I could sincerely hear that shady smirk.
It's funny because I actually do have a shady smirk.
Like he hit a dead body or something. Jeez.
I'm dead on the inside. So I guess you guys all think the controls are great, and I have these little tiny problems. But for the most part, I do think the controls are great. So. Okay. Oh, I guess I'm in the minority here. Okay. Fuck y'all.
Okay. Ooh. Mickey
Makes
Mouse.
me feel better. I'm in the minority about a lot of things.
So I guess at this point we can start talking a little bit about first impressions. So since this game is short, let's talk about first impressions of like, I don't know, the first 30 minutes, like 30 minutes to an hour. Who wants to start?
Enjoyed myself, plain and simple. Felt a little long in terms of pacing, strangely enough.
Did you do it in one sitting?
No.
Okay, I was about to say.
I actually didn't.
I can actually kind of agree with that. Because I played half the game and I felt like it was like the game should have been over for some reason.
You said 4 to 5 hours. I got about 3 out of it, more than likely.
Oh yeah, I was giving you that time frame, like just to give you like the high end of the spectrum. It's like a realistically speaking, you probably beat in like 2.5 hours. Like without.
I mean, if one is like a traditional platformer, since it pretty much is one, so kind of expected.
It's a little bit on the shorter side actually compared to a lot of platforms. Like if I had to think of one, I feel like Mario definitely takes a much longer time to beat for the most part. Like not much longer, like an hour or 2. I can probably like Super Mario World for example. It's probably like a solid 6-hour game if I'm going through all the levels and stuff, if not a little bit longer.
Or wow, okay, platform just completely, do the rug trick under me.
Scrub the dub, rub the dub.
Awkward silence.
Yeah, like what were we talking about? Oh, right. We're going for first impressions. I guess first 2 worlds I thought were great. World 3 is probably where I started hesitating a little bit because that's where you started having a lot of the backtracking and you had to worry about keys. The game slowed down a bit at that point. World 4 I thought was even worse.
Is World 3 2 the one with the logs and the back and forth?
It's the wooded level, yes.
That level scared me out of cursory glance. I thought I was gonna have to fucking go all over the goddamn place.
I did. That's the worst. I think that's why I ended up not liking 3 very much. Especially the second stage. I think I spent the grand total of like half an hour on that one level.
Wow,
I must have missed a cutscene or something.
That's a long time for one level. I don't think I've spent more than 10 minutes on any of the stages offhand. Maybe, I don't know. I want to say no.
I'll say this, if a stage takes over 10 minutes and it's linear, yeah, I would expect checkpoints all over the place.
Oh yeah, this game's pretty linear.
Or is this, or are we gonna go and just be really nasty with the player?
Are we gonna be Freedom Planet and have 24-minute levels? I haven't played the game, but I've seen the goddamn timer on trailers and stuff.
What's wrong with that? It's a nice, hearty, lengthy level.
It's 24 minutes of platforming!
Clutchy, you can finish it in finish all stages in under 10 minutes, okay? You really can.
Just because the stage is 9 minutes doesn't make it any better, Em.
I finished stages in 8 minutes. I will have you know.
I'll have you know, I've beaten them in a solid 8 minutes.
I still remember on this subject real fast. I remember seeing someone was actually speedrunning literally the 3rd to last stage. They clipped through half the damn level, beat it in about 2 minutes. Me, didn't want to use an exploit.
Beat it in 24 minutes.
No, actually 8.
Whatever.
Actually, more like 6 if I've got that right.
Woo! Look at how pretty. Everything's growing again. Because we got the water back to the forest. Because the waterfall was going backwards. I guess it's my turn to talk about my first impressions. I had actually really good first impressions. I think the game was doing a pretty jolly good job. It was engrossing. It was fun. But I am like M in the sense of like when I hit World, I think it was the beginning of World 4, I believe. I felt like things were kind of overstaying its welcome. I did do it in one sitting, which probably didn't help. And in the second playthrough, I did it in 2 separate sittings. I did half the game in one and then the other half in another to see if it kind of made me feel any different.
The prime reason for that is because a lot of the places feel the same.
Like, the first area of World 2 looks almost identical to the first area of World 3.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
They're the same place, but yeah. Well, there's like 2 levels per area. You generally speaking, I think this is.
I'm fine. I'm fine with transition stages. That's fine. That's not an issue. It's just I want it to be clearly defined that this is something being used to transition from one stage to another.
The only time I feel like they ever really tried to do that though was maybe with World 4.
Well, I mean, transition as in this stage doesn't have a distinct number to it. Like it's literally in between 2 and 3, as an example. Not 2.5 or anything like that, but, you know.
2.5D.
Nice joke. Cute joke.
I'm sure he spent a long time thinking about that.
I had... yeah, I can see what you're saying. But I don't know, overall, I think just what works is... I feel like... I kind of feel like... It's really weird, so Actually, you know, I'll save this a little bit more for later, because this isn't really a first impression tonight. I was going to kind of talk about some stuff that's a little later in the game, but I'll reserve my judgments until we get there, which we're going to start talking about now, because let's start talking a little bit about individual levels, which I know this is definitely going to be probably one of the shorter sections, because a lot of these levels do blend in my opinion, really simply. There's some kind of standout levels, and there's some levels that are just kind of like, oh yeah, it's just a level. So I expect this to kind of shotgun these for the most part, outside of maybe a few. Seems like it's probably what's going to happen. Because yeah, some levels are like a little gimmicky, and then other ones they're kind of just like straightforward levels. And I kind of like the levels that have little gimmicks, like for example, this one. But I'm gonna be mentioning the levels not by their area names, but by their official level names. I know it's gonna sound really weird, but it's what they're called, so I'm gonna call them that.
Yeah, just like that, there was one dislike on this video already.
But just add like a 1-1, 1-2, 2-1.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Well, I'm gonna preface by saying World 1-1. This. Speaking of which, World 1-1, the beginnings of Gale. It's a pretty fun... I think it's actually a really good starter level, because, yeah, sure, it's simple and all that sort of stuff. But I think it's overall a really good starter level, because it got me engrossed in the game with its simplicity and all that sort of stuff. This game only has 2 buttons, which some might find as a bad thing, but I personally think it works totally fine.
This makes it simple.
Yeah. I also do like the whole, like, you shoot an enemy and then you can use it as a double jump and all that sort of stuff, and I liked how it showed off all those mechanics and all that sort of stuff. So I think as a first and introductory level, it got me engrossed in the game and I was interested in it. Just from a cursory glance. It's a very straightforward level with no real set pieces to it outside of the mountain
and the tower.
Yeah, that's like the only one. The only thing I can think of.
Well, it is one of the shorter stages too, so.
Yep. But other than that, it's like that I do think is a really good introductory level. Like I said, I don't really have anything else I can really think of to mention about it, other than I think it does its job well, and it made me enjoy it, which is, I think, really good for the game, because first impressions are extremely important to me, and when the first level, I think, kind of like knocked it out of the park, I think overall that's a definite win for the game. I don't know what you guys think about the first level comparatively. I don't know if you guys think it sucks, but I think it's great.
I mean, it gets the job done right. Like it should.
Which is good. If it didn't, then...
And none of this where they throw everything at you, like, you know, how some people that do level design don't know how, which is always a good thing.
I mean, we mentioned Super Mario Maker a few minutes ago.
I know, that's what I'm low-key referring to. Amateurs.
Excuse me, I've been making Mario levels for 70 years.
Oh, I mean, unlike these amateurs, you use, you know, fan game stuff. I won't say anything because, you know, a certain company has a nasty habit.
I use the chicken tender editor is what it's called.
What? what? One of these, you know, big restaurant conglomerates ships the idea, oh, we should have a Big Mac maker.
Heck yeah, dude. I would go to that place. It's like that one episode of SpongeBob. Love it.
Can't even think of the actual episode, but okay.
Episode where Mr. Krabs sells the place. The Krusty
I never
Krab.
saw that one.
And they have a machine that makes all the
Krabby Mondays.
Yeah,
Ew.
and they make the Krabby Patties. It's gross. So I guess let's talk about World 2 then. I can't look at the name real quick because this part is really fast and it's scaring me! Okay. What is the name of the stage? The Diva and the Dark Spirit, World 2-2.
Wait, what happened to 2-1 and 1-2?
Or 1-1-2, sorry. Forgive me. I got ahead of myself, apparently. That level? What was in that level again?
Wow.
I think that was just another one of those really straightforward levels. It's just kind of a level. There's nothing I can think of.
I didn't even mention anything in the last level either, and it doesn't really matter because I kind of gave my piece on anyway. I think the first two zones are great. Like everything in 1-1, 1-2, 2-1, 2-2.
Yeah, they're pretty gosh darn heckin' frackin' good. You frickin' fricks.
That family-friendly advertising.
I've already said fuck like 3 times. It's over.
That was the monetization.
I mean, we literally started this with the gun joke.
Hey, that was on you!
Yeah. he actually meant a mayonnaise gun?
Yeah! Advertisers! It was a joke!
Go with the list.
I think I can sort of concur with Mayo, though, in the sense of, yeah, they are really simple. Like, the first 2 levels are simple. There's no gimmicks at this point, I don't think. I think it's just really introducing it to you. There's no, like, crazy set pieces or anything.
I thought they introduced the 2.5D camera a bit better in this stage. Like, it's more prevalent.
Yeah, that is for sure. But again, it works really well for what it is. There's nothing really they had to do specific for the first.
I wish they had specified more, like at that spot where Frank is out, where there's one that's an actual exit and one that's just for one of the collectors. I wish they specified more which one is that one you actually have to go to.
Yeah, I wish they really did that too. You kind of have to guess a little bit, which sucks. But because I mean, you saw me running around in circles a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So
like, same thing has happened to me every time I played the game. I never learned my lesson.
We're just really bad at video games, guys. Well, it doesn't help that they. Yeah, I wish there was something. Well, it sucks too because in a later level, they literally tell you where if you go in this direction, you'll find the orbs over here in the orbs level. So I don't know why they couldn't have a sign that says like prisoner over here or something, you know, just to give us an idea that there's that's an alternate path to go to as opposed.
Now that I think about it, this is like some Rayman vibes because Rayman did this too.
This game reminds me a lot of Rayman, like a lot of Rayman, Kirby, and Yoshi all together.
I really just realized that.
Yeah, I completely blanked that out of my mind, but yeah, no, this game is like, to me, it's like Rayman, Yoshi's Island, and what's it called? Kirby, like all mixed up in like one tightly knit bag.
Well, I mean, it's still very much its own original thing. But,
oh, for sure, but like when I think of like the influences and a lot of stuff that the game is about, that's what I.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be very obvious.
Yeah. So I guess we can talk. I've listed every boss too, because they all are a little bit unique and stuff like that. We got Rongo Lango as the first boss. Piss easy, but
I can't even remember the first 3 bosses because I killed them all in my first try without even thinking about it.
yeah, they're all just that easy. So
Well, the first 3, yeah. Here's the others we get to know.
this is Mayo's favorite.
Well,
level.
we already talked about all of the stages. It's just now
Yeah,
bosses.
this is the level that got stuck in for half an hour because I have no sense of direction.
No, we're not talking. We're just. It was just the boss of World 1. Yeah, it's a simple boss. And this is where the game has a habit of just telling you the weaknesses of every single boss. Which, I mean, it's not really a bad thing. It's just really funny to me in retrospect.
But it's also fun to experiment with a boss, see what actually works. Like it's an actual enemy.
It's just really funny because it's like, watch your back, or don't forget to watch your back, or Joka says something that literally just like, oh, okay, you have to hit the back. I mean, it's just something I found to be kind of humorous. They do that with a lot of the bosses. It's not a bad thing. It's just funny to me. But yeah, it's just a weird looking boss. It's easy. They're all really easy. Actually, no, they're not all really easy, but there's some bosses that are just kind of simple and straight to the point for the most part, and that kind of goes for the first 3 bosses, I would say. Actually, the first 2 bosses, I would say. So there's our good friend next level, Deep in the Dying Forest. Again, a pretty solid level.
You know, the one thing I have to say about this one is I didn't even know this until I played through the Wii version because they fixed this. Apparently, I was collecting one of the MacGuffins wrong. I don't know what they're called per stage.
Which MacGuffin?
There's 6 per stage, and even for the final level.
They're prisoners.
Yeah, well, apparently I was getting one of them wrong. It's the way beginning of the stage. What I was doing is I was waiting on one of the leaves and throwing it forward into the background, but it doesn't work in the Wii version. And that forced me to learn there's actually an entirely different way to get it.
Huh.
That actually really annoyed me in the Wii version, but because I thought it was a glitch at first, and I was like, wait, no, it's not a glitch. I was doing it wrong.
He was wrong the entire time.
Why does Blue remind me of Wario?
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to detract like that. I was reading the dialogue because I actually got to the.
Wow. Okay, now I'm getting confused. Wait a minute. This isn't how this is supposed to go. The 3rd level is Beyond the Backwards Waterfall. I like the idea. I noticed it before it was mentioned, and I'm glad that it actually had importance to it, because I was like, oh, the key's right here. I'm just a dummy. I like the whole backwards waterfall motif, and I also like how World 1 is like its own actual world, and then World 2 is like or World 2-1 is like the first level of the forest level, and then it immediately goes to the water palace or water kingdom or whatever it's called. I don't remember what it's called offhand.
I think it's just Water Kingdom.
Yeah, it goes to. I like how it goes to them. It's not like, because at that point I was like, oh, maybe they're not gonna splice like all the levels together like that. Oh, the sliding thing just made me slide off the ledge. Interesting. But yeah, no, it's I like how they did that, and I thought that maybe they were gonna keep it like that throughout the entire game, but for the most part they keep like every zone, quote unquote.
Yeah, I think that was very much the exception.
Yeah, unfortunately. There's only one other one I think of, and that's when you're taking the...
No, 2 does it all the time.
Oh, wow. Well, I kind of like the idea, though, because I know in the first game, or not the first game, I know there's this part they do it, and then you go to the Water Kingdom again, and then you have to take a shortcut out. Or you have to take a shortcut to the Water Kingdom or something. You have to take, you know, there's like a little shortcut, and that's its own little level. Quote-unquote shortcut. Because that's what Granny, I think, tells you. Because you're taking a shortcut back to...
Yeah, Granny tells you.
Thanks, Grandma.
Wow. Oh, wait, I thought you were calling me Grandma.
No,
I was about to say.
I'm talking to Grandma. Hello, Grandma. But yeah, other than that, it's a good level. Nothing else really I have to say.
I think I kind of wish that they would have had a full extra level for the Water Palace, because actually it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a good one.
What? Holy shit, they jacked up the difficulty for the extra vision.
Yes.
Oh, you finally got there. Good. That means we can talk about it that whole back.
Woo! So the next level is the boss, which is Seedoff and Pamela.
Fairly easy boss, but I still really like.
Yeah, I like this boss a lot. Easy, like you said, but I do like the whole. I like how you get to use him, like the king himself, to get Pamela. And this is, of course, one of those levels where this is one of the bosses. This is the mind control boss that we were talking about. Because, you know, of course. And then Pamela becomes our best friend. A kids game, rated E for everyone.
You hear Joka laughing in the background.
Should just gave him the Kefka laugh. Let's be honest.
Is it really?
No, I said I said they should have.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't to fight with this.
He's struggling.
Yeah, I'm actually struggling.
It's also another reason why I wanted him to get the level, because it's notably harder.
Yeah. But I feel like you can't really talk about this game being easy too much if you've never played it.
It's not really too easy when it starts. Near the end, I think it starts to pick up. Actually, I think this game is a little harder than.
Okay. Woo.
Than like I.
It's easy to sound like Kirby, but.
I didn't think it's like the hardest game ever, but I think there's moments where it suddenly the difficulty feels like it ramps up outside of the extra vision. Goodbye, Joka. Get out of here.
Enjoy it when you're able to enjoy jumping up only 2 enemies. I'm sure M is feeling that right now.
Oh god.
What's that? We had to jump between 6 enemies?
Only 6? Weakling! Try 20!
I just hear Dev Laughter saying amateur. Just screaming that.
So the next.
And this is before a time that internet was, you know, able to be applied to, you know,
games. The year this game came out, so.
Is there something that tells you the code to this?
No.
Or is it just a
guessing?
guessing?
I missed it. I just brute forced
all
it every time.
PS1 games are made in C, believe it or not.
More like
they actually use C.
More like in D for duck.
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say something like for my dick.
I mean, that is something I would say.
Mayo knows.
So let's see. The next. Oh yeah, Rebirth of the Forest. I love Rebirth of the Forest, actually, funny enough. I know Mayo, I think this is when you said you were kind of giving the game
This is when I was starting to fall off of the game a little bit.
Yeah, I actually really like the level, because I like how it's like, you get to go through, like, all... It feels less... It's obviously 2.5D, but it feels less 2.5D than majority.
And they put emphasis on, you know...
Like, you go to the foregrounds, you go to the backgrounds, there's, like, lots of turning and all this sort of stuff. Like, it feels much less 2.5D, and I like how the beginning you get to see the forest come back together. And I just like the aesthetic a lot. I'm just kind of a sucker for forest levels as a whole, though, to be fair. Which is funny, because it's inverse, because I actually don't like this level that I'm playing right now.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to defend this one for a minute. 30 minutes.
But do you guys have any other opinions on the level before this one, the Rebirth of the Dying Forest, or Rebirth of the Forest, rather? Do you like that level, Len? Is it just a level to you?
At the moment, yes, because I'm struggling.
I think aesthetically, it's actually one of my favorite levels, but that's about it.
Aesthetically, sure.
Yeah. And then we move on to this level, which is the stopped gear. Yeah, this level's kind of stupid. Outside the beginning, obviously, where I screwed up miserably, I actually just don't like this level that much. You like not like Em said, like Mayo said, too much back and forth. And this level goes on a little too long. Like, I've been on it for quite some time. And that's not just because I have to go back and stuff like that. Some of it is, yes, but it's not the entirety of it. There's just a lot of stuff going on. You have to go back and forth and this and that, and it's just kind of meh. And this is definitely one of the downer levels for me, but this is not my least favorite level.
It's just sort of there. Actually, since I've gone through the game so many times now, I don't really have a problem with it. It's just the first time I had so many issues.
This time is actually the only time I had issues. I just don't like the level. Is the thing though.
Lava Man. It sucks.
And this is great because we get to talk about the next boss, which I'm at this boss right now. Gelg Bomb. They don't say the names of these guys, for the record. I don't think in the game at all. I just pulled this from a website. This boss, I think, is kind of difficult. I had issues against this guy, but his theme is a banger.
I figured I would have been the only one with a bit of a struggle to it.
I have no issues whatsoever. I don't know what either you're talking about.
He's not, like, super hard or anything, but I definitely had issues. Because, yeah, sometimes you have to, like, time your bounce on the bounce pad perfectly sometimes, and then of course I'd accidentally throw like that instead of jumping because I would forget that you have to hit downward, like you have to double jump to count as throwing downward. See, I'm struggling already. I'm struggling to explain it too. Ah! This boss is, I think, where things start getting really hard or not really hard, but starting to mark where the game itself kind of gets a little bit rougher. The bosses at this point, in my opinion, just start ramping up tenfold in terms of difficulty.
I didn't really have trouble with this one, but the ones after this, yes, I can completely understand.
This guy definitely had issues with. I died, I think, only once with, but this is also one of the longer bosses in the game, I would say, too. Especially because if you screw up, you kind of have to wait a little bit.
Well, just so far, maybe.
Though, this guy has my favorite boss theme in the game, so, you know, it makes up for it. I don't inherently dislike this boss. As a matter of fact, I actually like this boss, because I like having to attack him from above. I like that idea. It's just...
Still struggling.
Oh, you're going to struggle for a while, bud.
I've already spent 8 minutes here.
Yeah.
I'm telling
don't
how
worry.
long.
How long did you say it took you before you only 2 minutes?
Yeah, on my, like, third attempt. Oh shit.
And they give you, they have a courtesy to give you lives, which don't mean jack shit.
That's the main collectible.
Are there even gems? Okay, no, there is.
There is. There's a gem counter. So yeah, this is a good boss though. I do like him. Fun times, fun boss, good boss. Just hard. Next level.
Variants in the game a lot better, but I think that's fine.
I think it's a fun boss. Probably one of my more favorite bosses. I don't know. I like the idea of having to double jump to attack as a concept. As a whole, I like it. I think that's like one of the few bosses that really takes advantage of that concept and idea.
There is another boss that does that, though.
Yeah. The final boss.
Yeah. That's the one I was thinking of that does it a lot better.
And then there's a village in danger, which is the next level. This is where we take the little shortcut to the Wind Village, I believe is where we're going.
Should have just gone back the long way.
Yeah, I agree. I would rather go through all of these stages all over again than go take the shortcut.
Take the Klonoa 2 route, please. Because yes, they actually make you replay almost every single level again. Just slightly different. And I would still prefer that to for this game.
Wait, you don't like it?
No!
Why not? Why not?
There's nothing fun about it! I would have an easier time. Just saying there's nothing good about it.
There is nothing good about it, because when you beat the level, your grandpa dies!
Well, okay, yeah. Actually, there's that.
This level has nothing going for it. Nothing happy going for it.
But is it even really your grandpa?
Good question. Well, technically, no. If you're being technical, no, because the last cutscene.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking about.
Oh, you're right. He can just
Which is
die.
even
though.
more
It's too-
confronting.
It's okay. He can just die, though. It's fine.
Let's get another one.
We'll just get another one. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, we'll just get another one, and
Grandpa.
we'll get another grandpa, and he'll be our real grandpa. The ruin of the Wind Kingdom. So, what is it that I'm curious to know? What it is that you inherently really dislike about this level, Mayo?
Okay, so first off, and this one's not nearly on the game, but I didn't, because there is a way around this, but the first time through the game, I swear no matter what I did, I could not grab onto any of these enemies, no matter what. So anything that was unique to this zone, I could not grab.
Like the aerial enemies?
Yeah, like the ghost enemies, and the enemies that have the fire spinning around them.
Yeah, they were such a pain in the ass.
The fire spinning around them, I learned how they work by complete accident.
Eventually, it just took ages. Like, I thought 30 minutes was a long time before, but...
Wahoo! Sorry, it's just a...
Please don't. I'm getting that spammed at me. I'm hearing wahoo, wahoo, wahoo.
Wahoo! Wahoo! This
It just
level...
gets so bad to the point where you hear a distant scream shut up.
It's funny because I commended...
Segments?
It's funny because I commended the whole, like, jumping on top of enemy boss thingy, but I actually hate these enemies right here a lot.
It's because they're almost always put in a spot where you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, pretty much. Or they're just aggravated, like, placed in an aggravating way.
Aggravating spots.
As a whole, yeah. Double jump!
Yeah, the two levels in this zone are easily my least favorite in the game, bar none.
They are not my least favorite. I actually don't know my least favorite level, like pure level offhand. Also, I love this little detail right here where it like squishes.
Oh, sure.
It's the best part of this entire level. Aesthetically, though, this level's probably the least appealing to me. Because it's just... I like ruins, don't get me wrong, but this is just like gray ruins. And that's just like... okay. You know what I mean? It's like, whatever.
Painfully generic.
Yeah, it's just generic gray ruins. It's not like colorful ruins, because the rest of this game is colorful and nice. And this level is just gray. And these enemies are annoying as hell. Very annoying.
I'll say straight up to you, like, I have a really hard time remembering the difference between this and the second zone, because they just blend together a lot.
Yeah.
So when we get to the next level, I'm going to have a really hard time differentiating them.
Because we're going to talk, I'm going to say we're probably going to start talking about that right now, because, what's it
So
called?
yeah, that's my impression. I can't differentiate them. They look too similar.
Yep. Remember, guys,
I
shortcut
think one of
takes...
them's inside.
So shortcut
outside,
takes
that's
2
it.
levels. I believe it is inside, yeah. A lot of the levels in this game as a whole kind of just mesh together, which I've said before, and it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Most of the time in this game, I don't think it's a problem at all. It's just this one world.
AKA the greatest world in the game.
Sweet mother of Lord, what am I looking at?
These ghost enemies have never had issues grabbing, though. So these enemies are kind of annoying, though, the fire ones, because you have to jump and wait out. You have to get close to them, then you have to jump and wait out their fire to appear, or to get away from them. So
I got out of the 13 zone. I was getting scared. He was down to 1 hit, and he was at 14.
You missed it when I was at, what's it called?
I did, and I'm so glad.
I finished this game with 13 lives, 13 gems. I don't have anything good to say about the next level, though, so I'm just going to not talk about it. Because it's not... It's again, it's not my... You good? You good, bud?
It's not your least favorite level, but you literally have nothing good to say about it.
I have nothing really good to say about it, but it's not my least favorite level, yes. It just... I guess, okay. Okay, well, I will say it does... The platforming is okay. It's not like... I don't think it's, like, purely bad or anything. Like, this section, I know, gave me a lot of issues because the stupid... You have to be really fast with the thing. But I think the main thing... I think it's probably the main reason, actually, why I dislike these levels more so than the actual platforming challenges and stuff like that. It's just, like... It's just so bland and boring to look at. And that is a big thing. And the music here is just meh at best.
Damn it.
Yes. Damn it.
Yeah, basically.
What about you, How do you feel about this level up here?
Very graveyardish.
Honestly, it's not a bad description.
Because that's the impression I got from it. Because there is one point in the background you see what appears to be gravestones everywhere. It seems like it.
That might be the next level you're thinking of? I think?
It's somewhere.
What are we talking about? The second stage?
We're talking about this stage still.
Oh.
Might as well move on to the second stage, though.
Well, I mean, you got the point, right?
Yeah, second verse, same as the first.
Yeah, pretty much. It's supposed to be, oh, it's a shortcut, so yeah, this is just the second part of the shortcut. The level music, I think, is very similar too, so it's really just not got anything going for it. It really just doesn't. It's just boring. I don't like boring levels. No boring.
You sound like Mario saying, I don't like boring.
I don't like boring levels.
Well, this is probably the most negative I'm ever going to get talking about this game.
This game is poo-poo bum in my anus.
Professionalism. And constipation.
Guys, this is what we call the extra vision. I can't wait to talk about that.
Oh my god, I'm struggling from it. Please.
Yeah, Lull in the Wind. This is supposed to be like the... This part is annoying.
Yes.
I don't think it's impossible. I don't think it's possible to not get hit.
Yes, 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 yes. Progress.
Good job. Now have 9 more lives.
Not just yet.
Oh.
But one day.
Tribal chanting. Also, this part really annoyed me too. Is this level is chock full of these like sections right here, where you can't control your momentum. Like you're always going forward, even in the air, and I have no idea why that's a thing, and it bugs the hell out of me. It also has
I don't find it on its own. I just think it needs a little refinement because they do it in Blue Taze Veil, and it's a lot more tolerable there.
You know what I also don't like, and I just totally forgot about this? You can't go back in into the levels until you beat them, so if you missed...
At least until you beat the game.
Yeah.
Or if you're playing the Wii version, because the Wii version actually does let you play them.
Thank God. Because that's a huge issue I have in this game, because I missed... When I missed some of the dudes, the prisoners, I couldn't go back until I beat the game.
I spent 7.5 minutes for that?
Hey, it's a fun little cutscene.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't even know the game. I'm just gonna choose that as my headcanon ending instead of that depressing ending.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, wow.
Anything's better than the actual ending.
Like, it's a good ending, it's just depressing as all.
You know, for kids!
You were saying?
Yeah, this level does just blend in, though. And again, the music here is one of the cases where I just don't really care. This reminds me of the Yoshi's Island, the cave levels, except a less interesting version. Like, this is the only really memorable part that I can think of is the bones section about
the beginning of the stage is fairly memorable, just because it's the only part that actually stands out that isn't part of a cave. Yeah,
that too. It's just an issue when you do the thing. Got the thing inside the thing. Did somebody say thing?
I did. Hello.
What's my name? What's your name? Where am I?
I don't know.
The next boss, though, is Balladium. Balladium? I'm gonna go with Balladium. That sounds right.
One of my favorites, actually.
Yeah, I like this boss a lot. This is the one where you have to hit the specific gems out.
This is the one exception I have to not liking the zone.
Yeah, this one of probably easily the best boss of this area. Not in the game, but in the bosses. It's funny because they go from simple, and they're all actually still pretty simple because there is really only like 2 buttons. But it goes from like simple to like simply fun. I couldn't think of a better. I couldn't think of a better way to put it. I'm sorry. But yeah, you hit out the specific gems. I think the only real downside I have about that boss is if you miss, it's a lot of waiting.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes the hitboxes can be a little questionable. That's like the...
That's also true for the next two bosses as well.
Yeah. Well, I think for the next boss, it's almost strictly perspective.
Well, it's waiting too.
Yeah.
If you miss the first phase, you have to wait through the second phase.
Yeah, it's definitely an issue on Joko, which is next. What do you think about the boss, Enipu?
Just because of that one trademark.
This is the one where you have to hit the specific gems from him.
Yeah, gotta throw it in front. And...
Yeah, you have to throw it into the foreground. Or the background, rather.
Oh, the snake.
Yeah. It's the best description I can do.
That...
Yeah, whatever. I don't care about 100%.
That's one kind of cleverly made boss.
Hey guys, Grandpa's gonna die.
Bye, Grandpa!
He's gonna get eviscerated.
He's safe!
It's funny, because this was brought up whenever I got to that area to get what prisoners there were left.
I like how ominous the music here is, too. Grandpa's just waving, then he looks above. Hey, what's going on over here, Klonoa? That's your name, right?
Klonoa and Papu!
Goodbye, Grandpa. Grandpa fucking died. Literally.
Oh yeah, they don't dance around it.
Yeah, no, he literally dies in the arms of Klonoa.
He's gone.
This episode makes me feel like trash.
When this was happening, I thought they were going to abduct his entire house, and I was like, why? It's destroyed! But no, they're just...
He doesn't care about the house.
Yeah, they're just...
The pendant.
Yeah, they're just getting the pendant. I just thought when I saw the entire thing cover the house, the first thing that came to my mind was, why are they taking the entire house they just blew up? That was just really funny. So the next level, and so remember how we said in level 3 or worlds 3 and 4 kind of doled down a bit? Is kind of what we agreed on.
Yeah.
I actually think from this point onward, so the next 4 levels, it picked back up immensely.
Yeah,
at this
agreed.
point.
Like, I was about to say, like, World 5 is the world that redeemed this game for me.
Yeah, World 5 and 6 easily are my like favorites in the game.
Apparently your least favorite in the game is in there somewhere.
I did not like any of Vision 5. It did not stick with me.
I can understand that because my least favorite level is level 5 too. So
I can somewhat understand that, especially because Joker's in it, but that's
Joker's my favorite boss, I think. No, I take it back.
He's my least favorite by a mile.
I take it back. I don't think he's my least favorite, but I do like him. Actually, who would be my least favorite? You know what? I guess he would be my least favorite, but I still enjoy him. I also beat him first try with 1 life remaining, or 1 hit remaining, and that was like a very tense battle.
I wish that's what happened to me.
This boss...
I started the boss at 30 lives, I came over.
I know we talked about this boss before already, but I just want to say this looks like a Phantasy Star Online 1 boss.
Wow, it does.
Like, 1,000,000% it looks like a Phantasy Star Online 1 boss. Which came out in 2002, so you never know. They could have maybe taken a cue from this game.
Wow, that
2000.
Wow, Phantasy Star Online's almost 20 years old.
Yeah. Oops. I think it came out in 2001, actually. It's 2001, 2002. But the 4 orbs. So I'm actually curious to what you guys think about this level because I kind of like. So I like it better than the levels that we've been. These levels, like levels 3 or world 3 and 4, except for maybe 3-1 because I like 3-1 a lot. But better than 3-2 and 4-1, 4-2 for sure for me. But I kind of think it goes on maybe a little too long is my only true complaint, I would say, with...
I don't have any complaints at all. It's considered my favorite level in the game.
It's one of my favorite levels. I think it has some of the best platforming challenges, which really redeems the quality of it. But I think the only reason why I kind of am a little, like, I kind of have, like, a love-hate with it is because I do think it does go a little too long. But other than that, I think it's, like, it's amazing in terms of, like, platforming. It's not my favorite level, but it's probably my second favorite, I want to say.
Like, if it's not this, then it's probably the water level back from Zone 2, because that's the only one that I think comes close to me.
The waterfall level? The backwards waterfall? Yeah, it's a good level. I don't know if M has any input besides X. I know you said they didn't really stick out to you too much, but I know the 4 orbs level is one of the few levels that I can immediately like associate with this game, or like in terms of levels that I can remember is memorable to me. That one definitely is one of them. Because that one has an actual... Like, at this point onwards, there's a lot of gimmicks that definitely start pulling through. Like, 3-2 had the keys, I guess, for gimmicks. That one has, you have to go get all the orbs and stuff like that. And luckily, it doesn't matter if you get an orb late, like one of the early orbs first and the later orb next. Like, it doesn't matter what order you get them in. It doesn't feel like it's overstaying their welcome too much because how the paths split off, it makes sense. Also, Grandpa dies.
No! I didn't realize you couldn't skip the cutscenes this game. Jerks. Sorry, I'm still playing through the game. I got to the final cutscene. They're not letting me skip it. Jerks.
Press start, I guess.
This one cutscene they don't let you skip.
Is it a pre-rendered cutscene?
Yes.
That's why.
I was able to skip that.
Maybe because you beat the game already. I don't know.
Oh wait, Mayo never did.
Oh, I think he's on new save.
Oh, okay.
Guys, Grandpa's about to die. You're just.
I love how you're going out of your way for this one cutscene to watch it too.
Well, I've been going through every cutscene.
Oh, I thought you were skipping all the others. I never saw you on a cutscene.
You know, I feel like loading a GIF of someone crying just to establish how
I actually
feels bad.
I actually felt really bad in this cutscene because the Phantomile voice, like the language. Klonoa sounds real fucking sad.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so cute, and Hupo is so cute too, and they sound so depressed, and I'm like, stop! My poor heart!
This one scene is the one time I will let anyone get away with saying that they absolutely do not like what they did with the Wii version. It's not purely the voice acting.
Hey guys, look, it's Pamela, our crazy fish dragon that flies.
Every time you say
Pamela, why didn't you show up earlier?
Am I the only one that thinks? Am I the only one that thinks of cheese whenever I hear Pamela?
I think of the Skype recorder because we used it for too long.
Yes.
So
I'm done with that.
So this level, I think, is another gimmick. This is another gimmick level 5-2. It's one that we can easily talk about. Between Light and Darkness, fuck this level. I hate it. I'm sorry. I hate the whole on-off thing, but I hate the fact that you can't hit any of touch any of the enemies, or you can't use any of them because you need to use them to progress in the level, and that's why it's my least favorite, because of the fact that you have to sit around and wait a lot of the times. At least I had to, and that was a big issue for me.
Yeah,
plus
you
you have one enemy that's constantly on screen.
Yeah, that guy's kind of annoying, but luckily you can just kind of spam the attack.
Yeah, it's not a hard enemy to dodge by any means.
Yeah, but there's a few sections where he is very irritating. And it doesn't help that that level is also particularly long. I like the music in it a lot, but that's about it. I don't like the platforming challenges. Well, I think I don't like that it's an adverse effect that I don't like the platforming challenges and stuff. Because I don't like the, what's it called, the whole on-off
I think the platforming, aside from the day-night stuff, is totally fine.
Yeah, it's like fine. I think it's just an adverse effect of, it gets a little annoying when you have to wait, and it can kind of ruin the flow of the entire level because you have to wait for the enemies to be hittable again.
I don't think I hate the level as much as you do, but I definitely have my issues with it. I liked it a lot more my second time through.
I'm going to start skipping the cutscenes now so I can see if I can get as much levels as possible at this point. We just need to see Grandpa die. That's the only important cutscene.
Oh my god, that's
in the final cutscene.
And the final cutscene, of course. If I can even get to that in time, which, you know.
Yeah, probably not at this rate.
Yeah. So now we get to talk about Joka a little bit. I think we already talked, gave our little pieces. Hard boss, I do like.
Screw that fight.
I like the Joka fight.
Wait, you mean Joka as the actual boss?
Yeah.
Where he goes full-blown Digimon.
Yeah, and he gets a
he
demonic
looks like
voice.
a Digimon, I swear to God.
He also gets a demonic voice, we can't forget about that, because, for kids.
Oh, and I want to point out a bit of a fact here. You know the ring that you have to go around whenever it comes to fighting, right? Where you have to switch the colors off, or the colors from,
Yeah, to make it
Well,
yellow.
every time that you run over one of them, I swear, it cannot just be me. It sounds like Namco actually took the time to record some of their old arcade chip sounds for that particular sound. It really sounds like a Namco arcade sound beat.
This one's really picky to get. Yeah, I hate this bubble. This one's really specific.
And I know that was
I never had problems with that bubble. Funny enough, if there's any bubble in the game, it's literally or not bubble, but item to get. Literally the first egg in the entire game. I don't know what I was doing wrong. It's purely the PS1 version. The Wii version is fine, but that stupid egg.
Luckily, the perspective, the whole perspective thing in this game is, it doesn't, nothing really makes it not work, I guess, is the best thing I can say.
It works way more often than it doesn't.
Yeah, there's only like a select few occasions where it's a little questionable. Mostly boss is fun though.
Joka. I have literally nothing good to say about Joka.
Yeah, I can understand. I guess I can understand, but I personally liked Joka. Maybe I'm just a weirdo. I mean, granted, probably my least favorite boss in the game, but I still liked Joka. So I can at least say that.
Like, for what it's worth, the second and third playthroughs I beat him in one try without him getting hit. So even though it took me way more tries than it should have the first time, I can do it now.
He's a god.
It's not like it's so super unfair.
Yeah, it's bullshit, is what he's trying to say. It's bullshit. I did not hit her.
I did not.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I thought you were about to go full Hey Arnold Oscar there.
He's going to Tommy Wiseau the room. Wait, do you even like the boss end? Do you even like Joka?
I like what the boss how the boss. Bleh. Okay, creatively, I like the boss.
Also a long boss.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's the longest boss in the game, isn't it? Excluding the final.
I think Gaudius and the...
Gaudius is a little one here.
Excluding the final.
Nahatum and Gaudius, I feel like, are longer for me, personally.
Gaudius, I think, can be about the same.
Gaudius can be
Depends
shorter.
on how long the second phase takes you, I think.
Yeah, it's also kind of RNG based to an extent.
Yeah, a little bit for one of the phases.
Yeah. So yeah, I can understand what you mean by the creatively that you liked it, as opposed to.
That's all I need gimmicks to it. I will give it that.
Look at all the pretty colors.
Well,
It's got good music too, yeah.
That song's been burned into my brain for all the wrong reasons. 30 lives!
So then there's the next boss, which is Joka. Then there's the Legendary Kingdom next, and these two levels, both 6-1 and 6-2, I don't know which is my favorite, but I love them. They're probably my favorite levels in the entire game. 6-2, I think, is where I started having issues with the whole sliding thing that I was mentioning earlier. In very few select sections, but that's like the only spot I think that I was really having that issue in for the most part. I think the rest, I might have had it like once, but there was like this one section that I just could not do for the life of me. But in 6-1, yeah, I don't know. I love the music, I love the atmosphere, I love all the stuff. 6-2 might go on.
Star Road, and I love it.
I think the only issue for me is 6-2 might go a little too long for its own good, but I still liked it a lot, so I think it's alright still. I don't know, I'm just kind of morphing those two together because they are very
visually.
Yeah, they're probably the closest it gets to being like really visually similar, and they don't really share, I don't think, a unique gimmick, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's 6-2 that has the 4 statues they have to break.
Yeah, 6-2 has the 4 statues. That's about it, though. In terms of
is that even 6? That might be 6-1.
That what?
One of them has the 4 statues.
It's 6-2. It's the last level because you have to go through the entire. It's like you're unlocking your way to.
Well, yeah, but 6-1 does that too. They both do.
Oh wait!
The tower you wrap around and the doors open. Then there's another one that has the 4 statues you gotta break.
Okay, it might be just, I don't remember fully then. But I know what you're talking about. That's for sure. I just don't know fully, I guess. But I do love these levels a lot. Easily my favorite. They have my favorite platforming, my favorite everything, essentially. Music, probably my favorite music of the game. Can't really say anything negative about it. The only thing that comes close to negativity that I have is 6-2 might be a little too long for its own good, but other than that, it's
6-2
like...
has some forced hits, and I'm not really a fan of that in platformers, but...
It doesn't have any forced hits that I remember.
Oh, forced.
It had a few.
Oh, you mean damage boosting?
Yeah.
I can't think of
They
any
don't have
offhand.
giant enemies that are guarded, and there's no enemies around.
You can... They turn around and you can hit them.
No, they don't. They only turn around after they go all the way to the end.
I don't remember ever having a damage boost. I'll take your word for it, but I don't remember.
I know what he's talking about.
I'll take
giant wall.
Yeah, and it happens a couple times too.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember having to damage boost it. But I'll just take your guys' word for it.
I mean, I understand what Mayo's saying, but I don't outright agree with it, because it seems like you could actually defend yourself just quick enough.
That's what I'm remembering, but I'm just taking his word for it, because I could just be misremembering.
Because you really do struggle trying to get an enemy to work with.
It is hard, I will give you that. And I think there's one part where you have to, like, be really fast, and if you're not really fast, then yeah, you're definitely gonna damage boost. But that's all I really remember. In terms of that whole thing being like a damage boost and what have you.
And honestly, Mayo's got a very valid point. Damage boosting in games in general, it's stupid. It really is, because it's not really giving a fair chance. I understand if it's called for in some instances, but even at that point,
I don't think there should ever be a point where you're forced to take damage. Because if you have one hit, then that just
this is more of a pseudo-force where it doesn't affect any statistics at all.
If it's like a damage boost in the sense of it doesn't hurt you, but it boosts you somewhere else as a gimmick, that's fine with that. But in terms of actually forcefully taking damage, that's not. I'm not okay with that. Because if you have, unless they give you a hit beforehand, it'll always.
If they give you a hit beforehand, then whatever.
Yeah.
And after.
But I don't really have anything else to say about the World 6. I don't know if you guys do.
I absolutely enjoyed the music in the first stage. The second one, that was not a nightmare. No pun intended.
Alright, so M's not being on the show anymore.
Oh, I see.
Ooh. Ooh.
It's okay, I've been kicked off the Yogurt channel so many times.
Well, I mean...
This is just second nature to me!
He's used to it, apparently.
Welcome to the club.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the boss, Gaudius.
Not as hard as I would expect, but still reasonable challenge. Definitely easier than Joker.
The thing I hated about Gaudius the first time around is... And this is definitely a me issue, don't get me wrong. I could not for the life of me figure out that I had to fucking hit his hands. Because it's not like they're glowing, like super big, like, hit me, hit my hands. I thought I had to hit his head. That's the first thing that came to mind.
Oh, you're talking about second phase.
Are you talking about literally...
No, I'm just talking about Gaudius in general. You're just supposed to hit his hands.
In general, you're supposed to hit his body.
That's what...
Wait, it's his body?
That's why I was asking this question, because I was actually able to hit his body in general.
Oh, I thought it was his hands.
No, it's his body. It's really easy to hit him.
The real part that's a bitch is having to deal with the portals that you have.
Yes! That's the problem.
Sucks.
Luckily, that's only a first phase issue, but no, you know what?
It goes up in the other phases too.
The
but it's not nearly as big an issue.
The problem, well, it's really hard for it was really difficult for me to get hit the portals for the other parts. But luckily, getting back into the battle itself, I think, is pretty straightforward and easy.
It's just that he starts spamming shit after a while.
Yeah, and the first phase I feel like is the worst part to me because I feel it's so hard to grab the enemies that are in the bubbles because I swear to God sometimes they just want to appear on the other side of the level and I can't run over there fast enough.
Oh yeah.
They don't even give you a chance to pick them up. They jump off immediately.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll spawn right next to a bubble, so you'll grab it and then it'll immediately go away from you. Or it'll immediately get popped.
No, I can understand taking damage for that. That's fine. But throwing an enemy out the window over that's just irritating. It honestly is.
Ooh. Lights on, lights on.
Oh. Mayo?
What's up?
You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just
I thought you got a little bit. I thought you overheated.
Oh, was it your brother?
What's up? I actually don't know what you're talking about, but something happened?
I was trying to make a joke, man. I thought you got overheated because you're not supposed to heat mayonnaise.
Oh. It was just really random, so I was confused.
Like an egg who got washed.
So I guess after that level, though, is our good old-fashioned boss, which is called A Dream at Nightmare's End. It's Nahatu. Actually, can we mention really quickly how terrifying just Gaudius is in general? His boss battle is no less terrifying.
Is this that other boss that also looked like a Digimon?
That boss is also terrifying, Nahatoon, but I was just wanted to mention really quick that I thought, what's it called? Gaudius is... I just wanted to give a friendly reminder that he is terrifying. But yeah, no, Nahatoon kind of looks like a weird Digimon. He's like a fat little Digimon, but scary looking still, to me, kind of. Given the game, it's definitely like mood whiplash.
You sign up for Kirby and you end up getting
depression.
Yep,
sign up for Kirby, end up getting depression. You know, he's not wrong.
It feels bad, Dad. Poor Graham. No, poor Gramps. I mean,
poor Hupo.
Poor Hupo. Well, we say poor Hupo, but he's straight up like he used Klonoa. So at the same time,
you didn't feel bad for it at least.
I feel bad for it. It's like it's a little bit of both, but
that is twisted for a kid's game. That is really screwed up.
So Nahatoon, I actually am sort of meh on the boss. Like it's okay for a final boss, but actually I hate the third phase a lot. So
what's wrong with the third phase? You like the third boss
because too much waiting for my tastes. I guess.
No waiting.
Yeah, no, you have to run to the enemy, then you have to grab, then you have to wait for the dudes to appear in an open, like in an opening.
How are you fighting the boss? Apparently we fought in very different ways, because I never waited.
You have to, I don't know, or maybe I was just getting a little boss fatigued at that point, because I failed the second boss. I failed the second phase like 3 times for, I don't know why. The second phase isn't even that hard, I just kept screwing up. But yeah, I don't know. It works as good as a final boss, and I think that's what matters the most, though. So I guess that works. But it's an okay final boss. I don't think it's inherently bad. I just think it's like meh to me. I don't know about y'all.
Let's see. This is still
the final boss.
Gaudius, right?
No, we're talking about the final boss now.
Oh, okay. For some reason I combined them. I don't know why.
Probably because they're one after another.
Yeah, that's why. I'm fine with a cacophony of bosses one after another, as long as you can actually recover, you know, get your bearings. That's fine. Just don't throw an outright boss rush without any recovery.
I mean, they do give you all your hearts back.
Oh yeah.
It's a new level, so.
Okay, I was about to say. I don't like the mechanic that is, and I never have, about getting an item, sending it to someone that is helping you, and then whenever you get enough of it, it just ends the boss. I have never liked that.
Understandable.
Yeah, that is a cinematic boss, and I've never liked that kind of cinematic.
I don't like the MCU, is what he's trying to say.
I never said that.
First of all, that's my line. He never said that.
What are you talking about? He said that. He just did. I don't know.
No. I hope you enjoy getting attacked by the, you know, nightmarish peeps of doom.
I don't. I hate this stage.
Scar you for those marshmallow peeps.
You know what? At least after you beat the game or the boss, it follows up with the saddest cutscene of all time. So you know, definitely worth it. Guys, long story short, don't beat this game. Just play it. If you don't want to get hit in the feels, don't beat the game.
I mean, you're gonna get hit in the feels as soon as you beat the fourth world.
Okay, don't beat half of the game.
Don't beat half of the game. Just deprive yourself of the other half.
Yeah. Or skip the cutscene. Or skip the cutscene. At the end, at 4-2, at the way end of 4-2, and then continue on.
No context, Klonoa. A happy ending. Yeah, also skip the ending, too.
You can't. Just turn the game off at that point.
Yeah, I just confirmed that a while ago.
Yeah,
just throw your PS1 out the window.
Yeah. Okay, maybe don't do that because this game is worth a lot, but.
Yeah. I mean, there is a PS3 version digitally. That one's not very expensive.
Okay, then throw your PS3 out the window.
Is it?
That costs less anyways. Probably in this day and age, probably.
It is. I looked it up before.
Oh.
It's roughly $80 for PS3, and it's about $100 for PS1 version of this game. It's about $200 for Mayonnaise Veil.
That's the PS2 game?
Yeah, that's the sequel.
Jesus. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, apparently Mayonnaise Veil did not sell like at all. So it's a shame, because that one's debatably better than the first game, which I already think is like a 9 out of 10 game.
Oh my goodness, he gave it the rating! He actually gave a rating!
I know.
It's crazy.
That's my first real rating.
We've convinced him! It's funny because I was gonna tell you, you know, you don't have to give a rating, Mayo, but you should say, like, would you, like, because some like, reviewers would be like, play this game or skip this game.
Enjoy while it lasts. It's like my one exception.
Oh,
I have to compare it to its sequel that I know neither of you played.
Mayo's really like, this really puts mayonnaise on my bread.
So let's just talk about the Klonoa's Grand Gale strategy real quick.
It can go screw itself.
Welcome to let's just put every single gimmick in the game in one.
I didn't get that.
I got the let's smash.
Yes,
the
let's
square
smash
button and the X button, the square button and the X button, the square button and the X button.
Or if you're an oddball, the circle and triangle button.
Yeah, if you're playing, if you're a little risque with how you play.
Jump, grab, jump, grab, jump, grab,
jump, grab, jump, grab, jump, grab, jump, grab.
It's harder than it sounds. A lot harder.
Oh yeah. It's so easy to screw up.
Oh, and then
save yourself too. So it's really easy to screw up.
And then you really feel bad for a certain someone at the end.
No, you don't. You feel good. It's better than the actual ending. I'm not gonna spoil it, because guys, it's a short game and y'all should play it. That's the first time I've seen him do that attack.
Which one?
Wow, really?
Where
He
he
did that over and over to me.
where he swiped.
Yeah.
I wish he would do that, because that shit's easier to dodge than this stupid move that he keeps doing.
I don't know how to
Like
dodge
he's
that.
trying to grind
That's
you.
why I kept dying.
That particular attack, it's easy to dodge, it's hard to read.
Oh,
That's the problem.
the smacking one? Yeah.
Yeah, that. And I mean, he was spamming the shit out of it with me.
Yeah, same here. That's why I was struggling against him. It's because I didn't know how to dodge that stupid fucking move. But yeah, so that level is, it's really hard, and you just gotta do jumps, you know, X square, X square, X square, X square, X square.
And if you don't succeed, just take in the fact that you get a bunch of lives.
It's
that you
even
can never really use.
It's even worse that they give you a time limit, so it's almost like stressful for the wrong reasons.
It's not even a real time limit. Like, what are the odds you're gonna need an hour or 99 minutes on Wii?
Yeah, it's not a tried and true timer. You're right. It's more. I think it's just a timer there to be like, beat your best time or something.
Yes, let me, you know, just grind my balls
that
against the
level so
floor
much.
while this happens. It's like, hey, don't put that fork in the plug socket, but if you do, I'll give you this.
What? That's the first time I've seen him do this too.
I saw that one all the time too. I almost tell you.
The sweep
What?
attack.
The sweep.
What? You never
The sweep
seen
still
that?
to this place.
No, that is the first time I've seen it. I've never seen the super sweep either.
He must have been
Mayo
really
asked-
lucky when he fought him the first time. I don't know what to tell you.
No, that I wish he would use that attack. That attack is piss easy to dodge.
Like Mayo asked me with Psychonauts, did you even play the game?
Valid question.
No, I played it up until this point. Now I don't know jack shit about it.
Yeah, he was like, I don't want to fight. I don't want. He heard his demonic voice before the battle. I was like, nah, I'm out. Peace.
I don't want to fight this, you know, herbified Pennywise.
I love how they give him the clown colors still for dinosaur him. He did the sweep again. This is throwing me through such a fucking loop. Like,
Again, I have to mention the dreaded V version. They actually made it even harder.
Really?
well, it's funny enough because I was gonna talk about, I was gonna say we should start talking about the weed differences. I want you to go over them for us.
Okay, so first off, this box. So in the PS1 version, occasionally you'll have hearts show up around the arena. Those don't show up in the Wii version, so you're stuck on whatever health you have.
I can't believe he just did the fucking sweep again.
Secondly, on the second phase, you will... Yeah, like there was a heart right there. That one's showing up in the Wii version. Secondly, you have to go over the tiles more times. So they have an extra color tier, basically.
I don't know why they would make debatably the hardest boss in the game harder.
Well, another difference with the game is that they increase your stock hits from 3 hearts to 5. So that's probably part of it.
They increase your grab range. That's actually one thing that kind of bugs me in this game. The grab range feels a little too...
If they do, it's by a very small amount.
It's not like the worst thing in the world, but I can definitely feel it in some occasions.
Like, I feel like the difference is more so in Lunatea.
What other differences does the Wii version have? Besides, there's voice acting and English cutscenes, I know that. But you do have the option to change to Phantomile if you want.
Yeah, the Phantomile. I think, the music's the same, but I'm pretty sure it's not as compressed. It definitely sounds better on the Wii version.
It barely sounds compressed in the normal game, I'm completely honest.
I'm with Clutch on that.
Yeah, but
Like, as somebody who deals with
sound different.
as somebody who deals with the, like, sound and audio engineering to an extent and stuff like that, what's it called? Like, I can definitely hear when stuff's compressed. And yes, this is compressed, obviously, but it doesn't feel like actually too compressed. Which is really surprising. This is one of the highest quality sounding PS1 games in terms of soundtracks I've heard in a really long time.
And to think, this guy from Obscurity, doesn't that just piss you off a little bit?
yes!
Why didn't this boss do the sweep attack more? I'm sorry, what did you say?
doesn't it piss you off a little bit how this game died from obscurity?
Not just the
I was thinking this in my head. I thought I was gonna say this at the beginning of the episode, but I completely forgot. How did this game not catch on?
Yeah,
because it was PS1 era and everybody cared about 3D games.
That and I want to say this game.
I have no idea for Lunatic's Veil.
I want to say this game might be a little too cute for its own good too.
Yeah, because
never heard Kirby.
You know,
true.
We're American and we need, you know, manly games and shit like that. God, that's
I mean, haven't you seen the cover of this game? It looks more manly than the game itself. I think it's a joke.
No, it's not.
Even Rayman. Rayman, for God's sake. A French-made title, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
How the hell did that blow up and this didn't?
Because I just missed my last hit on this stupid bitch.
Oh.
One hit for you, one hit for him. Good luck.
Yeah, the fists. Yeah, they can go somewhere.
So keep talking about version differences while I can focus on trying to win.
Alright, sorry. So, I actually went over the main ones. Most of the cutscenes, I would say, are pretty faithfully recreated, but I mentioned this when you got there before, so there's one cutscene that they completely changed, and I'm really mad about it. Which is the cutscene where the grandpa dies.
What did they change?
So, the dialogue itself and all that is all the same, because, you know, they had to keep the Phantomile dialogue, but they
Let me guess,
really
Grandpa
changed
does not die.
Klonoa's facial animation, so he looks a lot less cute. That's something that applies to the entire game, but
doesn't help that he sounds
really
like
applies to that scene.
Doesn't sound like it, or it doesn't help that he sounds like an angsty teen Sonic, basically. Really doesn't help.
Yeah, it's like they wanted to go for an edgier version.
Well, if you look at Klonoa's original design, he does not look like a kid. He looks like a kid in a sprite, and he sounds very kiddie in like his Phantomile voice. But the thing is, when you actually look at like his official art and stuff like that, he looks more like a teen.
I mean, I'm fine with that, but the voice. I mean,
also, Lunatic's Veil exists.
Oh god.
He's definitely more teenage in that game, that's for sure.
The Lunatic's Veil, he looks almost exactly the same. Just not as a sprite, it's a model.
I can't get past how they would do something like that.
That's ridiculous. Is there any other noticeable differences though between?
I would probably notice it if I was playing through it, but otherwise no. The gameplay is almost one for one. Funny enough though, there was one place that was different, which is Blue Tower. Because there was one spot that I really struggled on the PS1 version. Yeah, so there's one segment that I really struggled on the PS1 version, which is where you have to just grab onto this one type of enemy, jump up directly over and over like 5 times.
Yeah.
That was an absolute nightmare on the PS1 version. First try on the Wii version, but the room immediately after, I lost about 20 lives on the Wii version. I had no trouble there on the PS1 version. I don't know what that's about.
Oh, mama.
There's a whole spot where you have to jump down through, and you have to use the hover thing for gravity, and I had a really hard time down the Wii version. I'm pretty sure they reduced the gravity impact from the Wii. Not fun.
Is it me, or does Klonoa, whenever controlled in the Wii version, does he feel heavier?
You play the Wii version?
I think I would think that he's lighter.
No. I mean, by the look. The look giving off that,
It's mostly the same.
Because, I mean, that always bugs me. If it's visually heavy, I will control the characters like they're heavy. It's a me thing, I guess.
So I guess we can then move on to if there's no other real difference with the Wii version. Closing thoughts about the game as a whole. So, who wants to go first?
Here, I can summarize in one sentence, as you've already no doubt figured it out.
I love this game.
I played this game, I played the Wii version, and I played Lunatic's Veil within the span of 3 days. That's all I have to say.
So he's basically saying he fucking hates this game and you should not play
it. Lunacea's Veil, I didn't have to do, I didn't even have to do the Weavers, but I really didn't have to do Lunacea's Veil.
I guess my thoughts would be, just the fact, like I said a couple or maybe 3 times before, this died from obscurity. The entire franchise as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact
I don't think anyone would blame me for being a little bit pissed about that.
Yeah, this is my #1 franchise for. I really wanted to have another chance someday.
Klonoa for Smash!
Seriously?
This would make a fantastic secondary mascot.
There's no way I could see this guy. Okay, it's 6-1 with the totems. There's no way I could see Klonoa fitting in Smash.
Kirby fits.
Kirby has copy abilities that he can go with. And a lot more games.
You know what else?
Games.
Kirby sucks.
Alright, you're banned from this show. Alright, you're also banned from the show.
I can't wait for the eventual episode where he's just talking to himself. He's making voices of us.
Oh, I wanted to quickly mention this about the soundtrack. I remembered thinking this in my head, and I wanted to mention it about the soundtrack. So, in terms of the quality and how good I think that the soundtrack for the most part is in this game, because this song in the game definitely reminds me of this other PS1 soundtrack, which is amazing, but to a lesser extent. I would compare the soundtrack's quality akin to what is that game called? Symphony of the Night, in terms of how good the quality is. And Symphony of the Night has one of the best PS1 soundtracks, bar none. So, in my opinion, that's saying a lot to how good I think the soundtrack of this game is.
This particular track on the stage that you're currently on, I get a very romance vibe from it. Surely I'm not the only one that thinks that.
I get I think about, again, what's it called?
I mean, it's just me, probably.
I think about the underground section in Symphony of the Night. That's what I think of. Which makes sense, because they have actually similar aesthetics. But yeah, so closing thoughts.
I mentioned it with the aesthetics before, but when I talk about aesthetics, this is literally just Star Road. That's all I can see here. It's Star Road for Paper Mario.
No, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
So outside of what's it called? The game falling off because of obscurity. Did you have more closing thoughts to it? I'm sorry, I kind of cut you off a little bit.
Right. Sorry.
Am you there? Yeah. Emerald Master.
We need a third title. I haven't even played the second game.
The second one's even better than first. Almost everyone agrees with me on that. It's not just a neat thing.
Wait, second is... I'm sorry.
Second is Lunacea's Veil.
It's Klonoa 2. Okay. I'm just calling it that. You can't stop me.
It's fine. That's its title too.
So, I mean, a an official installment.
Exactly. Also, port the first 2. I'd like the GBA games to come over too, but I'll be content with just the main ones.
I hate Klonoa. That's my closing thought.
It's all because of the terror that Joka gives.
I like Joka. He's my favorite boss.
I'm really, now that I've said it, I'm slowly starting to realize, yeah, it's like a Kirby-sized Pennywise.
Thanks, I hate it.
It's like Kirby swallowed Pennywise!
My closing thoughts are... I like the game quite a bit, but I didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to like it. But I still like it a lot. Don't get me wrong. But I
so basically thought it was going to be 10 out of 10 and ended up being 1 out of 10. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah. You got me.
But not disappointing.
Well, I guess the thing is, this probably maybe sour, or not sour in my opinion, but like really made me come in with thinking way too like highly of the game, I guess. I've heard a lot of people say this is like one of the best 2.5D platformers ever. And I would say it's really good, but I wouldn't say it's one of the best. Like, I would play Donkey Kong Country over any of the 3 games probably over this game personally.
And this seems to have a bit of that aesthetic to it, too.
I mean, kind of.
Just a hair.
But, as negative as that might sound, though, I have to preface, I do enjoy this game a lot still. Like, I played through it twice. That's telling enough to say that I enjoyed it enough to play through it a second time. Because if I didn't like it at all, then, or if I like thought it wasn't that good, I wouldn't have gone through it twice. And I'm going through it a third time, and I'm nearly at the end of the game, and I'm still having a good time playing it. So, yeah, I'm not like it's not like. It's good, okay? I just want to preface that, because some people will take...
You guys aren't very good at saying that you like games that are niche. First Psychonauts and now this.
It's good. I know, it's because I point out all the like things that I don't like, and then at the way end I'm like, in summary, I like it, but there's these parts that I don't like, and then I feel like I'm
but like 99% of the video is you bashing on it.
And then like I feel like
it's Psychonauts.
And I feel like it's
Just
a bad
remember,
thing, but I enjoy the game, okay?
Just remember, he is not a psycho.
I am a psychonaut, though.
Damn it, you destroyed my shitty pun.
I know. But, alright, so, final verdicts and scores. We already got Mayo's.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, normally I wouldn't, but I screwed myself with that, so...
9 out of 10 from Mayo, which I'm so glad that he actually gave one. In the future, though, if you don't give out an actual score, you can I would just say something like, yeah, I highly recommend this game. Like, if you don't do it out of 10, you could do, like, something like, say, like the completionist does, or, you know, something along those lines. Because I know a lot of people that actually do stuff like that. You can just be like, I recommend it. You should complete this game. You should just play it. You should avoid it. This game is based.
My only complaints basically boil down to World 4. That's it.
You should have like a scale where the bottom of the scale is Bubsy 3D.
Oh god.
I think I'll lower the Bubsy 3D.
Superman 64. You're right.
This really bottled up my bread.
But so what's M's verdict score?
I give 8 Wahoos out of 10.
Like Wahoos, like from the intro, right? Like
yeah, of course.
Alright, just making sure we're on the same page, you know.
And I know if one of us had a soundboard, we would spam it about 8 times.
I give this game a solid 1 out of 10. It's fucking bad.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that your score reflects the rest of this video.
Oof. Oof. Mega oof.
What do you guys think my actual score is? I'm curious to what you guys, based on what I've said, I'm curious to what you guys think.
A solid 7.
6.
5.
4.
Stop!
He hates it! 0! He gives me the whole time!
I actually think this game is a... It's an 8 out of 10. For me.
Wow. Copycat.
Also, this is the part where I had a lot of platforming issues. Oh wow, I got that first time, or second try. Okay, game, thanks. Thanks for not proving my point. Okay, it's a 9 out of 10 now. No, I'm joking. But yeah, no, I'd say it's a solid 8 out of 10. Everyone should definitely play this game, just like Psychonauts, I think. Well, for Psychonauts, it was for the story, for sure. This game, definitely everybody should play it for the just the gameplay. It's short, it's fun.
And the visuals are actually nice to look at.
Visuals are good, the music is good. Joka is the worst thing in the universe.
And because we did mention it before, if you have choice between Wii or PS1 to pick PS1, please pick PS1.
Yeah.
Weavers is not terrible by any means. You're not exactly doing yourself a disservice, but just do that one first.
Aesthetically, go for it.
And then I guess since, according to Mayo, I do trust his thoughts on this one, you guys should probably play the second game too, because he says that one is also a good game.
That one's considerably better.
Yeah, if not better. So I guess that's a 10 out of 10 game to him.
It's in my top 3 favorite 2D platformers. Yeah, the two are basically unbeatable.
Donkey Kong Country 2 is almost unbeatable. I knew it.
Well, on my list, so no.
On my list.
Donkey Kong 64. What now?
Oh, there's Hupo's true form, by the way, guys. When I was talking about how I hate it, there you go. That's a good way to end it. And the next game, though, we're going to be playing is, in fact, Crash Nitro Fueled. Well, okay. So, we're doing Nitro Fueled as our next game of discussion we're going to talk about in next month of July. But, as Mr. M doesn't have any of the consoles that it's coming on, he's going to be playing CTR and Nitro Kart, which I actually think in the long run could be a pretty interesting part because he can talk about what, how he felt about those games, and then we can maybe compare the two.
I mean, we both recently played through both games as well, though.
Yeah. So, but I think overall it could cause for some interesting things too. But yeah, he's gonna be playing the original versions of the game because he unfortunately cannot play the updated.
He doesn't have any consoles. He only has PC, and the game's not coming on PC.
Probably not for another year, given their current trend.
Yeah, given Insane and Reignited, yeah.
And then after that, it's M's turn to pick up 2 games, but we're gonna go with 1 game. You know what? I want to know. What's your next game, M?
Wow, you really gave me short notice here because I was fighting myself.
If you don't have look here, if you don't have it, don't worry about it. I'm just curious if you found a decision at this point, what is
literally
it?
all you can think about is horror, then pick horror.
Well, I mean, I wanted to cut you a little bit of slack here.
Look.
There's 2 games, but one of them is a horror.
I want to just put this for M's sake, so he doesn't have to not think about things. This series is so we can all kind of get out of our comfort zone and either play games that
play something we've
never played before, even if it's for genres we don't like, because you never know how somebody might feel about certain genres or whatever. So it could be whatever. Like, I think I've had thoughts of doing horror games too. It doesn't matter that somebody might not appeal to that genre. I think it's interesting to get somebody's takes on those games too, in my opinion. So don't be thrown off because somebody doesn't like a certain genre or something.
Sure.
How the hell is the video border art gonna be? Because this trashy uplifting look is not gonna cut it.
I mean, we have a fucking horror on the right side of the screen. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, that's an uplifting.
I think the left side's scarier, personally.
I mean, if Mayo has any idea of what game I would be suggesting, he would consider it scarier. And remember, you recommended this game to me almost a decade ago.
Oh my god. Is it Silent Hill?
Is
M gonna finally play Silent Hill? Holy shit!
I didn't. That was not over a decade. What?
I've been egging
If I'm gonna play it, I'm gonna play it first. Make sure I actually, thoroughly enjoy myself.
You don't have to do that because,
First of all, that precedent's already been broken by this game.
Yeah, wait, you've played Klonoa before, though, haven't you? Oh, wait, no, this is the first time I played it. Never mind. And not only that, but the last...
Mayo or...
Yeah. Mayo, this is the first time Mayo recommended Klonoa because he wanted to play through the game. We're also using this series as like a little excuse for us to play games that we might have never played in the past before. To just finally give them a try, because he's never played it before. And one of my games is going to be like that when it goes to my point. But you know what? We're going to end the video here, and we'll know next month what he's going to want to play.
Yeah,
we have to. But I'm going to harp on him directly after this, to see what he is going to recommend.
I only have 2 ideas, and I want to cut a bit of slack for Mayo's sake. Just ease into this shit, because I don't...
Play Silent Hill 3!
Oh, gee, thanks.
If I'm going to play Silent Hill, it'll be the first and second game, okay?
It's really boring.
But,
I just don't find them enjoyable. It's almost always for the same reasons.
All right, and we have to find the one. We have to keep picking them until he finds one that he likes.
Here's one thing, and I'm not recommending, but I'm just saying, just for jokes, I could be a real asshole and say Power Drill Massacre. That would.
My next game is gonna be Hatred.
The hell with that! You realize how fast that video would probably get taken down.
It wouldn't. Well, I mean, it is a rated 8 game, actually, so it might. We're gonna end it here, because we've been stalling for the past, like, 10 minutes. So we'll see you guys next time in Crash Nitro Fueled /CTR/ Nitro Kart. I'm excited for that one.
3-in-1 type of thing.
I love the anti-gravity
game.
I'm excited for that, so, yeah. See you guys then.
I'll wait for after we finish.
Love you all. Say goodbye, everybody, right now.
Later. And don't let Joker catch you in your sleep.
No, don't let Gaudius catch you in your sleep. He's fucking scary. Jesus. I made him look less into
my sleep.
See you guys next month in episode 24. Bye.